So I reviewed the M27, I had my fun with the smoke wagon, we took a look at the APX, I showed off the CSI Star XR5, and now I'm down to my last Airsoft station review. This is the Classic Army CA4A1 EC2, more commonly known as an M4, which you can find at airsoftstation.com for of course $165 with the links in the description of this video. In this video, I'll show you guys what you'll be getting when you order an EC2, the range and FPS you should be getting out of the box, the quality control, and I'll let you guys determine afterwards if the price tag is justified or not. But if we're going to start anywhere, then we should begin with the unboxing. Being that this is my first ever Classic Army that I've received for review, I'm pretty new to this all decaled cardboard box, but I like how strong it is and how on the side you'll see a list of all the contents. Opening up the lid though, we can see all those contents and the manual on top. This manual will show you all the basics like how to use the selector switch and safety on many different platforms and guns, how to insert a battery into many of those different guns, how to be safe with an Airsoft replica, but it won't give you any information for the EC2 directly, which is a bit of a shame. For the goodies, Classic Army filled this box with all the essentials, like a wall charger, which I would recommend that you ignore this one and get a smart charger if you don't have one already. A metal tan M4 high cap, which is coated very well, easy to use rail covers, a small bag of BBs, which I wouldn't trust out of my own personal preference, a vertical grip, which I do like to see in the box, an unjamming rod under the EC2, and finally a 9.6 volt nunchuck battery. Pretty much you get everything that you'll need except for eye protection to just go out there and play immediately. But now let's just push the box out of here so I can show off the rifle a bit. This is a pretty standard M4 when you look at it, so I'm not going to amaze you guys by saying any crazy stuff like, well, if you pull the bull handle back, you'll activate a free Wi-Fi service so you can look up more Classic Army stuff online. Truthfully, I found just a few cool features about this gun, but I did come across two quirks in certain areas, one of which being the vertical grip oddly. I thought somehow I got a messed up grip because it would never fully tighten on the rail system, but then I found that this part that applies pressure to the rail wouldn't raise up high enough to do just that. But after a few minutes I found that the innards of the grip backed off, making it impossible for me to screw in this portion all the way. So I simply tapped the innards back in. Now the grip is fine again. But I'm still going to use my own grip for the rest of this review so I don't possibly mess up the included grip anymore. Back to the wrist system and the rest of the front portion of the EC2, you'll find that the plastic flash hider sits on 14mm counterclockwise threads and a metal outer barrel. But around the barrel will be a rail kit made from polymer like the body, but the bottom rail is made from metal. The bottom rail is also easily removable by flipping these two levers out of place and pulling the rail kit up from the rear. You're able to do this so if you just happen to have an underslung grenade launcher like an M203 or any other sling attachments lying around, you can throw it on easily. It's not something I see very often, but at least they included this feature. Up top on the monolithic rail, however, anyone would expect to see flip-up sights like these metal ones. These are made great and will lock into place, but can be flipped back down with just the press of a button. And the rear sight grants you optional apertures, but the windage adjustments will have to be made with an Allen wrench. Now for the receiver set, we again get the average. The body is made from polymer, but it's well made and the walls are pretty thick. The only oddity I found was in design, and that was over how the mock forward assist and mock brass deflector are molded together, but that's totally fine. As you can see, Classic Army just took a few liberties to freshen up the old design. The metal trigger is standard, the selector switch clicks into place flawlessly, is made from metal and won't just switch whenever you don't want it to. The pistol grip is also standard and the mag will take just about any common mags, but I do think that the trades are a bit lazy, especially when all the EC2s are marked as serial number 1. I know very well that I don't have the first gun, because two other EC2s I've seen have this same serial number. It's just not right to me. It doesn't affect performance, but it's the same as if a company marked an M4 with 50 caliber marks. But these are the only trades on the gun that aren't engraved like the others, so with a bit of time these will fade away even if slightly, if they do bother you at all. Inside, Classic Army told me that the EC2 possesses low resistance silver wiring, a quick change spring, wire cut steel gears, and 9mm bushings. And the last bit of the receivers is the hop-up and metal T-handle that will reveal the hop-up adjuster. But real quick, just listen to this. I do not know what this is, but I don't like this grinding sound at all. However, while filming this scene, I somehow wore it away, so the sound just vanished. After you do pull the charging handle, you'll have to hold it back to make your adjustments, but to shake things up, you'll get a G36 hop-up adjuster. That will click into place as you turn it. I really like this, as I found that 3 clicks away from max hop is perfect for 0.28 gram BBs. And with this hop, I was able to reach 150 feet away, even with a slight wind crossing my range, so I'm really impressed with that. And at the chrono, readings came out to the high of 340 to the low of 360, so you probably won't be taking this rifle in the CQB. But you do have that quick change spring system inside, so if you do have an air spring and you're a capable tech, then you'll know what to do. Next up is the stock on its own metal buffer tube with a lovely solid metal sling mount connected. This crane stock does exactly what you'd expect of it. You get 6 adjustments and the included battery sits flush inside. All the cutouts inside will also make wires easy to deal with, so I have no complaints here. But Classic Army did throw in one last bone with this EC2. Yes, you get the small type connections and an inline MOSFET to make the trigger responses much more crisp, and with that you know this gun's LiPo ready. But before you say anything about Dean's, let me just pop this converter off and bam, you get Dean's connections. Classic Army did not need to do this at all, but they thought ahead to add this little feature that does mean a lot to those certain players out there. All around, this M4 does exactly what is expected of it, while throwing in a curveball here and there, like the included rail covers, removable rail piece, the inline MOSFET, and the Dean's connections. And the range is splendid at 150 feet, so for $160 I'd say that this is not a bad choice for players out there, but ultimately you guys are the ones that truly make the judgments, so what do you think about the EC2? You get a lot out of it, and you get the options for your color preference. Just don't slap a long scope on the top and call it a DMR. If this was my gun, I'd make it into the run and gun piece. But in your opinion, is this worth its price tag? Let me know in the comments down below, or check out airsoftstation.com for this rifle and many more. Links will be in the description, like they should be. But until the next video drops, I'll be reading your comments, editing that gameplay, setting up those giveaways, and I'll keep my excitement until I release that new video from the city of San Antonio. This has been Scott Holmbeck, and I'll be sure to see you all next time. That's a first on camera. I locked it up. Second time.